the update on KJ?
I think he's pretty good. He was moving around a little bit yesterday. So I hope everything's okay today. He didn't practice. We practiced, days mixed up here. Monday was our day off, Tuesday. And then he didn't practice Tuesday, but moved around a little bit yesterday. So we'll see where he's at today.
What's the scouting report on Stanford? Is it Kyle Smith of Washington State, or they do things differently from?
They do a lot of the same things. They're really scoring well. Offensively, they've really done a nice job of moving the ball and getting the ball to the right people. Their offensive efficiency is very good. They're shooting the three really good. So no, we'll have our hands full. Defensively, we're going to have to really play well to get them slowed down. They got three guys that really scoring well, and like I said, their percentage from three, and they're taking 26 threes, so they're spreading it out pretty good.
3-4 minutes into the game the other night, you guys really jumped on and went on a run. And talking to the guys afterward, they were talking about how defense fueled that. Do you think this group, generally speaking, is your annual message about guarding and rebounding is getting through with this group?
Oh, I'm not making any bold predictions there. I hope that they understand that. It's a long season. You play 31 games, and you're not going to shoot it well every night. It's just statistically that's proven out year after year after year. And Key had been shooting it really good, and the other night he got good looks and they didn't go in. So that's just the way the game goes. And other nights, the basket looks that big. But defensively and on the boards, your effort can be consistent there. And we did a good job defensively. They got some good looks that they didn't finish, but I always just kind of gauge everything by did they get good looks. And for the most part, the first half they didn't. Now the second half they did. And so I was disappointed second half of some of our defensive possessions.
And nationally speaking, I think there's 38 players who are shooting over 35% from three. And there's obviously 5,000 players. So is this a market correction where the sport is getting good at three-point defense, or is today's player just obsessed with doing something that none of them are actually good at?
Oh, I would say the second probably fits it closer. Guys, they all want to shoot the three. And, all of them aren't capable. It really does help, the more guys that can shoot it efficiently. But no, I don't think the defense is getting that much better on the three. I just think that more guys are shooting it. And as coaches, we're trying to give them that flexibility. You'd like to see it backed up a little bit more in practice with some stats. That's why we chart everything in practice to see who really is shooting them well. And again, I just think a lot more guys, because of the NBA game, feel like they need to shoot the three. And I would say that, everybody's pretty optimistic about their chances and probably aren't in the gym enough to back it up.
Your best teams here, you've referenced Ken Pom a lot over your time here. Your best teams have always been in the top 30 offensively and defensively in that statistics. This team is. Do you feel like this team has the potential to kind of go in line of making that impact on offense, defense, and the data?
I think offensively we're going to be all right. Defensively and on the boards, I think are going to be our major moving forward as we get into the Big Ten and get on the road. I think the defense and rebounding are going to have to hold up. We slipped defensively just because we gave up so many offensive rebounds the other night. It's a formula which takes into account defensive rebounding percentage and so forth. And we didn't rebound the ball the other night, and our defensive numbers slipped. And so I think that's our biggest key. We've had some really good offensive teams, but our defense hasn't been consistent. And So I like to see that defensive stat because I know what happens when we're in the top 30 defensively. And when we're in the top 10, you go back over my time here, our time here, when we're in the top 20, top 30 defensively, our teams have usually fared pretty well.
How did this weekend come together, Dan, in terms of the neutral site aspect? I'm assuming the academic calendar played a little bit of a role in that, but was that basically the main factor, and then the neutral aspect gives you a little bit of a...
Well, a promoter contacted us, and, we weren't opposed to going on the road, but we didn't want to travel, to the East Coast or anything. So this was just an opportunity with a promoter to play a neutral game in San Jose. The same promoter is going to try to arrange a game in Portland next year. I'd like to go back to Portland and play one. So, hopefully that'll come together. It's not etched in stone, but, that's kind of the plan. But no, I got great respect for Stanford. We've always had pretty good games with them. Kyle is a tremendous coach, so we know we're going to be challenged. We know they're really talented offensively, and so we're going to have to guard. So it's, from all aspects, it's a good game. And it's, again, I hate to harp, but it's easy travel here before Christmas, and the guys are going to go home for a few days after that. We'll bring them back on the 26th. But I sure hope they're not thinking about their Christmas break till after the game.
Return trip with Stanford, or is it a different opponent?
It doesn't have to be. It can be. They just got to find a Power 4, Power 5 opponent.
Supreme's been back for a little while now. What have you seen from his play since he's gotten back, and do you feel like he's back to being the player that you acquired?
He got into early foul trouble, against UCLA there, and that didn't help us. He got 2 fouls in the first 54 minutes or seconds. But I thought, Nate got in foul trouble the other night, and I thought Supreme really helped us. He's got to do a better job in the ball screen defense, which he's very capable of because he's got good feet. Supreme's real easy to work with, wonderful young man, and he's starting to get more conditioning, better shape. You see his explosiveness. You see his physicality, which we definitely need. His blockout percentage is the best on the team. So we definitely need him to continue to get in better shape and healthy, and we need him on the floor more because he is physical.
In the ideal world, then, David, particularly after the break and you get into the heart of Big Ten play, what is the vision for his workload? I mean, it's certainly not 7 and 8 minutes, or is it 12? Is it 15?
Well, it'll evolve. Part of it will be, Nathan's foul trouble. Part of it will be trying to get them on the floor together. There'll be a lot of things that we'll try to do depending on his conditioning and how he continues to come along. So it's up in the air. I had a vision for him. Then he got injured and was out 2 months. And so it's been slowly coming along. But he is a big factor in what we want to do, just simply because he rebounds the ball. He's physical. Defensively, like I said, he moves his feet very well. So, and I like him. I think he plays really hard. And that is something that, you need. And he's got experience, so going on the road's not going to bother him. Big East last year. So, no, he's going to be big part of our team moving forward. There's no doubt. And the better shape he gets in and the more familiar he gets with what we're doing, he'll be a bigger part of it.
Do you think your guys appreciate how important playing well Saturday is in terms of how merry your Christmas is?
I didn't hear you.
Going into this break, how important is it to play well for your guys, just going into this extended break for the holidays, but also for their coaches' mental health?
Yeah, no, it's, you hate those long breaks and the grandkids. I don't want to be grouchy all Christmas break. I hope they get that. No, it's, I told them how big a game it is for us, but it's it's a really big game for Stanford because they, the quad one, and all those things. So it's a huge game for both of us. And so I hope they understand that. And it's going to be a really tough game because, like I said, they score baskets and they move the ball really well. And we're going to have to have a good game. We're going to have to play very well.
You might have basically answered this already, but just sticking with the holidays, what's on the top of your Christmas list for this team going forward?
Well, just keep everybody healthy. And, that's just a big part of, I guess that's in the back of my mind after the last 3 or 4 years, just keep everybody healthy and, continue to get better. We got that long season. I talked about it before, when you start October 1 and you hope to be playing April 1, you got a full 6 months there that, you're trying to keep everybody healthy and moving in the right direction. And we've been fortunate in some games to, find a way to win them. But as a team, we've got to get better. And if our guys understand that, we do stay healthy, I think we can have a good ball team. But we've got a long way to go, and we've got to improve in a lot of facets of the game to get there.
Have you gotten guidance yet, Dana, you, Jody, et cetera? I know the decision just came yesterday, but on this junior college decision, and allegedly they're only applying it to the one guy, but I don't know how in the world they could do that. So what this does mean for Bam, for Dez, for anybody else you might be bringing in here?
Well, I hope it means good news, There's a lot of things, with prep schools now, guys graduate from high school, they go to a prep school, they take online courses, they are in that prep school, they play junior colleges, they play high school, they play a different schedule, but it doesn't count, and junior college does count. The NIL opportunities, I guess, was another part of the suit. And so if he's successful, other junior college players are going to follow. And once the precedent's set, it could be, good for junior college players. And that would be good for college basketball. And it would help the junior colleges again. A lot more guys would go junior college and develop. And so I think it would be good for the long term. But again, I got a junior college background. I believe in junior colleges. So I've got a little different philosophy than probably a lot of people do. But for just looking in the near future, it'd be great for Bam and Dez if that applies to everybody.
Have you gotten a warning yet on the medical red shirts for Nate?
We have not. So still waiting.
Thanks, Dave.
Everybody, all righty. Have a good holiday if I don't see you.